Hey guys, Devin here with Admiral Off-Road, and today we're going to be replacing the radiator on a Jeep Cherokee. Let's get started. Before we can remove the radiator, we're going to have to drain all the coolant. I can do this either by opening up the drain valve on the radiator or by removing the lower radiator hose. I know that my drain valve is stuck closed. I've tried it a couple of times to get it open before, and I know that I can't, so I'm going to go with the lower radiator hose. This is a messier way to do it, so just know that there's probably going to be some cleanup afterwards. I also have a bucket underneath to try and catch as much as I can. So we're here on the driver's side of the vehicle, and to remove the lower radiator hose, it's just held in with a hose clamp, so I can use a flathead screwdriver to undo it. And now we'll let it all drain into the bucket. Now that we've got the lower radiator hose removed, we can move on to removing the upper radiator hose, which is again held in by a hose clamp, which can be removed with a flathead screwdriver. Now that we've got the radiator hoses off, we can remove our electric fan. And the way to do that is just by disconnecting the electrical connection and taking off the two 8mm bolts that hold it in place. The next thing to come out is the mechanical fan shroud, which is again held in with two 8mm bolts. With the electric fan and fan shroud out of the way, we can move on to removing our upper radiator support. Now that we've got a lot more room to work, I can remove my transmission lines. I'm going to remove the upper line first, which is the return line. I'm going to have to remove the radiator around a little bit to get to the bottom line, but from here I can get at the top line just fine. There we go, we got the upper line out of the way. Like I said before, I'm going to have to move the radiator a little bit to really get at the bottom line. So let's go ahead and do that step next. The next thing we're going to do is remove the nut off the mount that holds the radiator to the AC condenser. There's two of them, one on this side and one on this side. With all the nuts from the mounting brackets released, now we can separate the radiator from the AC condenser. In order to disconnect this lower transmission hose, you're going to need a special little tool. All it is, it's an AC and fuel line disconnect tool. You can buy them in a pack at AutoZone for about 10 bucks. And I'm just going to use this. It just slips over the line, like so. And then you push it into the other side. And I'll give you a better view of this in just a second. And that pushes all the little fins on the inside and allows it to disconnect. This is the inside of that transmission line that we had to use the special tool on. And you can see there's 4 little teeth in there that hold it in place. And all the tool does, let me grab it, is the tool just goes on the inside here and it pushes those teeth back out of the way, and then you can pull the line out from inside of it. With the transmission lines disconnected, the last thing holding this in place is our overflow tube. So we can go ahead and remove that, and we'll be able to remove the radiator. Tube is off, and out comes the radiator. With the old radiator out of the way, we can drop the new one in its place. The next thing to do is to reinstall our upper and lower transmission lines. The lower transmission line will just snap into place, just give it a little push, and the upper line, we're going to have to use a wrench. You don't have to kill it, just get it on nice and snug. Next thing to do is reinstall our upper and lower radiator hoses. Before I get a million questions about the duct tape on my radiator hose, it's just there because it just barely touches the battery here, so I didn't want it to wear a hole, so it's just there for a little extra cushion. Now we're going to reinstall the nuts that hold the radiator to the AC condenser, and then we can install our upper radiator support. Now we can reinstall and hook up our electric fan. And our fan shroud. Alright, we've got everything in place and hooked up. Time to fill it up and give it a test drive. Drive for a little bit, make sure you get it up to temperature, then check everywhere for leaks. You also might want to check your transmission fluid too. You may have lost a little bit when you're removing the lines. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. And if you like what you saw here, please like and subscribe. If you want to see how to do a cooling system flush, go ahead and click over here. And if you want to know how to change your thermostat, click over here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.